Wait, how do I do this again?
Hey guys, this is Gus G, and you're watching Guitar Gear Guy. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello everyone, how are you? This is yours truly, Triple G, coming at you live for the first time in 15 months. Boy, it feels great to be able to say that greeting once again. I actually have been active on another channel of mine, which I'll link right here, where I do almost similar things as I do on this channel, but with a different topic. Between businesses in general and other things, life in general, I really haven't had time to be able to play guitar, let alone create new episodes for this channel. Those of you that have been subscribers and find humor in what I put out, thank you. I appreciate your patronage. And if you are new here, however, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell notification so I can come see you more often, as I hopefully plan to be consistent with my output. But long timers, you've heard that before from me before, where I spectacularly failed. All right, enough of the status update. Let's dive right into this guitar that I am showing you today. And if you thought this guitar looks a lot like something that I have shown you in the past before, you wouldn't be wrong, because I did show you a Dean Michael Schenker signature guitar which carries this exact paint scheme. Or is this the new Cruella signature guitar? The black and white paint theme looks very familiar, as we've all seen both the Schenker boys rock their balls off with one looking just like this. Now, Michael was with Gibson and then took his business to Dean, which is actually the guitar I showed you before, which I'll link right here. So I ended up selling the Dean version of Schenker signature guitar because I prefer the neck profile on the Jackson, and also the wingtips are a little bit pointier than the Dean, which obviously goes well with me. Now, that said, this guitar features a traditional Jackson straight inline 6 tuners and a headstock, which looks absolutely deadly if you're into that sort of thing. However, for the guitar with this design, the symmetric body and everything, I wish this would have had that Jackson's newer 3x3 headstock. I think you can commonly find that headstock on either or both Misha's signature model and or Chris Broderick's guitar. That would have looked sick. Now look past the paint job. It's a very familiar Jackson King V affair here. And if you go back to the 80s and think thrash metal, and who's who of that genre basically wielded some kind of a Jackson King V in one way or another. Now, particularly when I think about King V, thrash metal, 80s, takes me right back to Megadeth, where Mustaine was wielding one of these, and I believe Marty was just on his Randy Rhoads variety, but I don't know if Marty ever played a full-size King V. Nonetheless, that's what it reminds me of. And those were good times when Megadeth was firing in all cylinders. And when I mean by that, what I mean is they were angry. They had something to prove, chip on their shoulder. Music was ferocious. That's sort of what I miss from Megadeth sitting here in 2022. So with a paint job such as this, you may be thinking this is, same guitar, just different paint job, putting lipstick on a pig, same thing. Now, that said, I really love the idea of having a guitar that resembles something that is synonymous with one of my guitar heroes, Michael Schenker being easily one of my top 5 favorite guitar players ever. With Jackson's playability, it's just awesome. Obviously, Jackson can't attach Schenker's name to this guitar due to copyright reasons and whatever, but let's not kid ourselves. When you look at this guitar, only one name comes to mind. Without further ado, let's take a look at the guitar in depth. You have oiled maple neck finish neck right here, which is just awesome. And then you got pearloid shark fin inlays, Jackson's signature right there, ebony fretboard, jumbo frets, you got Duncan distortion bridge and the neck, Floyd 1000 tremolo, you got volume 3-way and the tone. Nut is the locking nut, obviously due to the Floyd, and then in-house Jackson tuners and Dunlop locking strap buttons. Those of you who've been around my channel for a while, you know I am absolutely a whore for an Explorer and V. And where you can see on this side of the wall, I got Explorers and Vs hanging and expensive ones locked up in my closet. Now this one here just fits the bill perfectly in terms of what I like in the V. It reminds me of my hero. Playability is great, and the paint job is nice and clean, just on point. This guitar is, however, an Indonesian made, and some of you elitists may scoff at the idea that anything non-Japan, non-USA is garbage. However, I do want to tell you Indonesia has been putting out some good guitars. That said, also you may have an opinion that the guitar might be a bit overpriced. I got this guitar when it was being sold for $9.99 last year. However, I checked just before putting this video out and Jackson has increased the price to something like $11.50. Now so it's going to be a different value proposition, whether you find value in that price point or you think it's too expensive. So, those of you with an eagle eye probably already saw something is very wrong with this guitar. And by this time, I'll probably show you B-roll to highlight the problem. Now, what that is the pickup rings on both the neck and the bridge, they started to warp. So they're not sitting flush against the pickup cavity. They actually warped along the long edges on both pickups. I attribute that to this guitar currently is in my residency here in Las Vegas, and obviously it's very dry here. Now, despite the guitar is in the gig bag, it's in the closet, but it's not like I have a full humidor going on in my closet. So it's dry, and therefore I think what happened is the body might have actually shrunk just a little bit where the pickup rings are mounted to the guitar body. Therefore the bolts aren't going to move. So the give is going to come from the flexi bit, which is the pickup ring. Now, I'm not a big fan of pickup rings in general at all. Actually, I love the direct mounts where they do away with the pickup rings, and I wish it was the case here. Now I'm gonna have to go find some new pickup rings to replace these, and hopefully those will fit flush. Another problem that I have noticed with this guitar, again, now if you think this has something to do with Indonesian build or whatever, perhaps, I'm not gonna be able to argue with you, but the locking nut isn't actually sitting dead center of this nut slot. This side is protruding out this way, just a tiny hair. Now, you're not gonna be able to notice that if you are looking at the guitar the way I'm looking at it, as I'm looking at the strings and the fretboard, because it actually sits okay. And the distance between the edge of the neck to the sixth string, edge of the neck here and to the first string, that all seems even. However, the nut is sitting slightly to this side. Outside of that, what is weird is how I, attributed possible pickup ring warping issue to the body shrinking. Appears the neck and the fretboard is solid. Now, the neck does have two carbon fiber inserts, graphite reinforcements in here. And I don't know if that has anything to do with that. However, obviously it wouldn't with the wood drying and everything. But the frets are not sprouting out. It's actually very, very smooth, very well done. No issues there at all. So wonder what's going on with the body. To conclude, the guitar has all the right vibes for me. And as I mentioned before, it reminds me of one of my heroes. It plays beautifully. The neck does dive just a hair. It's not as severe as some of the other Vs. What else? I could complain perhaps about the bodywood dry, being better dried at the factory. This is where some of the better builders, more expensive models come with the kill and dry, where the body is stabilized, where it wouldn't go through shrinkage based on weather and so on and so forth. Other than that, really a great axe, suits my personality just fine. All right, that wraps up for this episode. This channel is mainly for demonstrating my love for guitars. Obviously, my playing ability really blows, but this is where, you have things in life that you are good at, and hopefully that's your profession. Then you have things in life that you're passionate about, but maybe you may not be as good at it. And to me, that is all things guitar. So if unbiased, honest, next door chump opinion, feedback kind of thing is your vibe, then please do consider coming back. I hope to be consistent with the output now that I have made a return. So that's about it. I've been Triple G. You've been awesome. Thank you for your time. And until next time, you guys be good humans. Triple G out.